And hello everybody, this is Gamer with Opinion, and I'm very happy to present to you another mod. Today's mod will be Wars of the Late Republic. It's Batavian and Gallic Wars. It is a mod that is situated in the end of the second triumvirate, meaning Caesar, Pompey, and Crassus. Just before the starting position is just before Julius Caesar crosses the Rubicon, pretty much. Uh, it is a very nice mod map. First, it is a synthesis work. The modder Nick One Assassin took a few mods that he liked and used them in his own mod. So this was a back burner project that he decided to finish, and it's nicely finished, by the way. So you have recruitable generals, invisible borders. You've got an improved map, which is the Carta Mundi. Probably one of the best map to, well, according to me, it's the best map to use for modding right now for Remastered, if you want to use a pre-made one. So there's a lot of stuff in there. The units have been done very nicely and in an interesting way. So without further ado, let's jump into this mod. So first thing that we see is, of course, you've got only one faction for the Romans plus the Senate, and you still have the Senate's mission. Senate's mission have been extended in time as well, so you have more time to complete them. So you can see that there has been some redesign on the blazons, and that's not the only thing that changes with the faction. To illustrate that, I'll be showing three factions basically, to be able to show you the type of work that has been done across the board. So we're gonna start with the Romans, our stars. So basically you have almost the victory condition completed if you take a vanilla game. This is your starting position. You're a bit slow today. So we get the messages for the destroyed factions. And like you see here, we've got pretty much the victory condition completed. And the Senate is there, as you can see, and you surround it. All right, so what did I want to show you? Pretty easy. So as you can see, you've got the 4 turn per series. If you want 4 turns per year, you have to go to the gameplay setting, reset the advisor, you start or load the game, then click on one of your settlement and click on the other to start a camping script. So if you want the 4 turns, that's the way to do it, because it's scripted. So I'll just get rid of that. And you've got the popularity necessary to move on the Senate at the start of the game. So now, what does interest us is this. First, buildings, well, except from the fact that you've got access to all the Roman temples, so all the factions have been fused into one. There's no real change here for the buildings for the Romans. Troops. When we get into troops, we have light auxiliaries, decent stats. What you want to pay attention to is the 8 and 50. Those stats tends to change depending on the faction you'll be playing. So pay attention to the missiles unit. And we've got auxiliaries as well, starting as light infantry. As I said, you can recruit the generals, and the cavalry is your standard missile cavalry, but not as good as many. As you can see, only 8 reload and 50 range, but it has decent stats to go, especially a 32 charge. So it has decent starts to go close combat once it has depleted its arrows. 12,000 to start with and 7,000 to come. Seems a lot, but look at the huge territory you've got. You're gonna need the money. So this is the Roman starting position. There's not, except for the, like I said, except for the auxiliaries that you have as troops. And of course I could have shown the stack. So I should have shown the starting stack because you've got legionaries in there. Early legionaries, but you can't retrain them. So now I want to show you Egyptian, because they have been nicely redone, but they don't show the point I really want to show. So I'd rather go with Gauls instead. This will better show the work that has been done on the barbarians. So the barbarians have been really upgraded. First, they have access to level 4 buildings. That's the first thing. Second thing, they do have units as well. So if we look, we have access to different buildings, evoluted, the roads especially. Greeks can also build the better roads. And you've got all the Gauls gods in your things. So, but the thing to remember here is that you have access up to level 4, which is really good. And this city is actually ready to go level 4. Now, if we look at troops, you have your skirmisher warband, which is basic skirmisher, but like the Romans, pretty much. Then you've got the archers warband, 40 arrows, 40 turn of arrows, 120 range. It's pretty good for archers. This is a strong and solid unit. Then you've got the light cavalry, which is the normal light cavalry. It's not missile light cavalry. We've got the warband with its war cry, the usual grunt. And we have the naked fanatics, of course. Nice stats. Swordsman, which is very nice. It's heavy infantry. It's basically your heavy swordsman. No, they are not crazy armor-wise and shield-wise. But they do have decent defense and decent moral. This is actually a strong troop to hold your line. You've got the Druids with their chant, which is always good. You've got access to hounds and of course generals, like I said. If you look at the settlement starting position like the Gauls, it has an impressive territory. It is kind of rich, so it is a good challenge for the Romans, especially since the Romans do have to contend with the Senate and other threats to start with. So the Gauls looks pretty playable, and like I said, nice variation of troops. You can build pretty good armies with those. Now we're gonna get into the juice of this thing. The Parthians, they are the star of this thing, with good reasons, because at that point in time, Mithridates, I think it was Mithridates the second. At that time, I might be mistaken, might be the 6th. I don't remember exactly. Uh, and I got some action on the street. Sorry about that. But he caused many a problem to the Romans, exterminating Crassus' army to start with. And actually, that led into a deal with Julius Caesar later on. So, first thing you notice, they have access to large stone walls. They have a huge city to start with. They have access to evolve buildings, and they are Zoroastrian only. That's the only religion you've got. They have access to better sanitation and roads, like all the Eastern faction. Now, in the troops, this is where it's getting fun. The slingers are pretty good. 50 ammos, 80. That's pretty standard in this mod for slingers. Peltas, 8 and 50, like the pretty much like a cut and paste of the Roman ones, if you want. Hillman, they have been improved. They can do the shit rum. They have a decent charge. Decent defense, you know. So for our light infantry, this is actually good. They are fast moving, so they can pursue cavalry and push back our horse archers. This is what they are meant to do, historically speaking. Eastern infantry, same thing. That's the same thing that they should be used, except that those ones, they don't have the fast moving, so that it makes it a harder game to chase down cavalry. Decent stats again, and can do shit rum as well. Horse archers, look at those babies. 50 arrows and 120 range, 12 in missile attack, which is pretty decent. And we've got a 30 total defense, which has 0 shield. That's important for the counterattack on missiles. So, and look at the price. 440 and 250 to maintain. This is nothing. These things will wipe you out in a ban. And look at what you start with. Cataphracts. Cataphracts archers and Persian cavalry that I'm going to show, which are even a bit better than the other one. Heavy spearman, which is very nice addition to the Parthian. They need that. There are people from the steppe, they are used to fight with cavalry, so of course they have in their footman, they would have spearmen, and historically speaking, they had. They were using infantry. It wasn't the blunt of their force, but they were using it, and more than people think. Anyways, 56 defense total, and there's 10 shields in there, so pretty resistance against the missiles. It has decent stats. Can do the shit rum as well. The Immortals. This is a very interesting unit. Immortals, historically speaking, they were the guards of the Persian kings like Darius. They were numbered at 10,000. They were called Immortals because when one would die, he would be immediately replaced by another one, and they were all dressed the same, and they were all masked up. So it's an enemy's troop. It's always 10,000. This was the close guard of the king. They usually never fought. The only time I remember them fighting really was when Alexander was pursuing Darius and almost killed him. He had to use the Immortals then and lost a lot of them. Anyways, that was a sidetrack, an historical sidetrack, but I'm well known for that by now. Anyway, so like I said, 46 total defense. They have both melee and weapon, and they have 15 ammo and 120 range. So they have javelin. They're throwing javelins basically, but they're throwing it at the range of arrows. That's quite a feat. Or maybe they have a bow of some type that I can see, but Immortals wouldn't have bows. But anyways, I digress. It's the designer's choice. This makes it a very interesting unit. Um, I'm quite even with the 10 shields, so they are well protected against missiles, um, facing from the front, of course. But I'm very curious about how they would behave in a battle. I'll have to test them and see. They look pretty good to me. Base. See, if I look at the stats, I can see many ways I could use those to be deadly. Persian cavalry, so it's another missile cavalry. It has 40 arrows instead of 50 for the other one, but 170 range. 170 range. We're on par with artillery here. This is your long-term howitzer. Those are mobile artillery units, basically. Good defense, 0 on the shield, well thought of, because those are not round shield cavalry. They have very good decent skill, some armor. So again, very good unit, and look at the price. 790 to get them, so 800, not that expensive. 260 to maintain, way too cheap. Way too cheap. It's too easy to ban those, make a massive army. You don't even have to have an infantry in it, and you're still taking cities because they're gonna come out and meet you. So you just have to wait until the end of siege, and they have to rush you, and you kill them with the missiles. Anyways, but the Parthians are supposed to be strong. They're supposed to be a major threat. Sighted chariots. They are amazingly good. They are very nicely done. This is something that is supposed to frighten infantry. They have the stats to do it. 40 defense and have no shields, but they have a 20 armor. So they are not as brittle as they used to be. That's good. I would probably have put some shield there because usually you add shield protection on the chariots, but that's personal choice. Moral, melee, so everything is very decent, and of course 3 hit point, and they frighten the nearby infantry as usual, but 3 hit points makes them very resilient. This is heavy cavalry at its best for chariots, as far as chariots is concerned. So this represents very well what a sighted chariot could have been. It's supposed to be a terrifying weapon in the steppes. You have the Eastern generals that you can recruit, and that does it for the Parthian. Look at the last thing is, look at the size of their empire. This is really huge, and kudos to Nick One Assassin. He actually did good research and at the diatribe, and also Indiana, nope, not media. Looking for it because I saw it. Khazamia. It's supposed to be somewhere. Ah, there it is. Not the Seka. It's here somewhere. Where did you have it? It's Masatya. The tribe of Masatya and the other one that I showed before. Those two tribes were the major tribes. The Parthian were pretty much like the Mongols. So a lot of tribes that were functioning as a loose alliance. Very culturally evolved, wearing bright garb that was heavily embroidered, but it was practical garb for horse people living in the steppe. They probably descended from the Denisovan civilization. I will be doing eventually a historical thing on the Parthians. This channel will see more historical action soon. Anyways, and draw the attention on the map. It is so beautiful. This is such a beautiful mudding map. So anyways, this is the tour of this mod. It is very nicely done. So please give it a try. I think you're gonna have a lot of fun playing the battles against or as the Parthians, pretty much. And I think that Gaul is going to be very enjoyable to play as well. So you can give me a like, follow, subscribe, share. But what I like is comments. Please leave your comment about the mod or about anything. This is the way I can improve the content. This is an ongoing process. You can find me on Twitch, Twitter, Mind, Odyssey. So thank you very much for watching. Take care, everybody. I'll see you soon.